The Second World War left Asia deeply scarred. Japan's militarist ruling clique launched a war of aggression to pursue its expansionist ambitions, seize land and resources, and shift domestic crises outward. Japanese aggression brought catastrophe to tens of millions across China and the wider region. Japan's wartime crimes are documented, undeniable, and their memory will never fade. Driven by expansionist ideology, Japan's military swept across Asia with systemic, extreme violence. Massacres in Nanjing, Hong Kong, Singapore, and Manila remain among the darkest chapters in modern history. Civilians were slaughtered without mercy. Entire cities were reduced to ruins. China, the main battlefield of Japan's aggression, endured the longest and gravest suffering.
40对的话，人都有40道走路，就杀到这种程度。见人就杀。
佢哋嗰啲劍仔啊，好尖噶，好閃閃鋼嘅，又見下，嚇到我死啊！嗰次嗰時真係。
人打死咩人打死喎？以下嘅乾水啊，乾咗水啊，咁啊又嗌翻出嚟咁咯，點解都降咗氣。
In 1941, after Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, its troops pushed into Malaysia. Chinese communities were executed as alleged enemy sympathizers.
マレーシアの場合はね、軍の正式に中国系の人は人目につかないところにいるのはもう見つけ次第取り調べることもなく殺せという軍の公式命令がね出ている文書が残ってましたので。
In 1945, the horror reached its peak in the Manila Massacre. For an entire month, Japanese troops carried out organized slaughter, arson, and rape. More than 100,000 civilians were killed. Some of Japan's most horrific crimes were committed out of public sight. The notorious Unit 731 and related biological warfare units conducted biological warfare, chemical attacks, and experimentation on living civilians.
1937年7月以降、日本の軍国主義が中国の全面的侵略を始めていって、日本軍の占領地が広がっていくと、それぞれ拠点となるところに新たな固定型の防衛給水部っていうのを作っていくわけですね。
解剖記録に私の言う今300台という本当に300台のものを保存しとるかというと300台というのはそのうち取ったものが約3分の1。これはどうしても保存しなきゃならないといったのは隣に取っているんです。あとはもうみんな承諾して。
Japan's war machine was built on mass enslavement. Hundreds of thousands of women from China, Korea, the Philippines, and elsewhere were abducted into sexual slavery, the so-called comfort women system. At least 400,000 women across Asia were victimized, with more than 200,000 in China alone.
我们虽然是大概到45岁。我自己就是不肯走，就是打断2根，完了是那个木棍多的。
여기에 대한 일본은 책임을 지고 범죄를 인정하고 공식적인 사죄하고 법적인 배상을 해야 된다고 생각합니다.
Tatanda na kami, ang iba hindi na makakalakad at ang iniilamin namin ay katarungan.
Rise for peace, fight for justice.
Japan also forced millions of Asians and Allied prisoners of war into brutal labor. In Korea alone, at least 1 million people were conscripted during 35 years of Japanese colonial rule.
일본에서는 정말로 배가 고파서 우리 기숙사 안에 있는 불을 다 써먹었어요. 머리가 다 빠지고 우리가 그랬어요. 그런 노예 생활을 했습니다. 그러지만 아베는 지금 우리한테 그리 아는 것 같이 그렇게 말은 하지.
In the Philippines, the Bataan Death March killed about 10,000 people, including 1,000 Americans and 9,000 Filipinos.
Nobody can cook any rice because some of the Filipinos they still got uncooked rice with them. 2 Filipinos taking chances, and they made them deck their grave and they buried them alive. Buried them alive, right in the ground.
But the greatest labor tragedy unfolded in the jungles of Thailand and Myanmar.
Abused in many places, but probably the iconic one would be the Burma-Siam Railway or the Death Railway.
To build the railway connecting Thailand and Myanmar to open the Asian theater, Japan enslaved 62,000 Allied prisoners of war and nearly 200,000 Asian laborers.
Because of the war situation and the Japanese mentality, they don't care about the care of the people who are working like slaves underneath them. Their only consideration is get the railway finished. If people die, that is just too bad. People die, we'll get more people.
This year marks the 80th anniversary of victory of the Chinese People's War of resistance against Japanese aggression and world anti-fascist war. Yet in Japan, right-wing forces continue to deny or whitewash wartime atrocities. The shadow of militarism, responsible for Asia's deepest wounds, is resurfacing.
They demand justice. First and foremost, an apology from the Japanese government. They demand that the young be taught about this issue in schools and in historical textbooks.
我们主要是要求日本道歉，就是要求日本政府真诚地反省自己的责任。
戦争を通してね、かつての戦争を通して、我々日本人は反省をして、反省の上に立って平和について議論すべきですよね。
History cannot be bleached. Justice must be upheld. A nation that refuses to repent will inevitably face consequences, just as it did 8 decades ago.